What's going on, social lights? It's your boy Ace Taylor with the Social Grace Rule, coming back with another video. Today we got to talk about the pardons that Donald Trump handed down. And he pardoned Larry Hoover, the leader or the founder of the GDs. Now, this is crazy because at one point in time, his businesses reportedly made over $100 million per year on average. I mean, he was doing things his way, and he was running the show down in Chicago. Now, this does not mean that he's getting out of prison, because I do think in Larry Hoover's case that he does have 200 years that he needs to spend in a Chicago, Illinois prison. But I digress. I do think the important thing here is that he's trying to get back closer to his family, because his wife, I guess, was recognized in 1968. And so now they're married. I guess they have grandkids, maybe, possibly. And he's trying to get closer to them right before he passes. I believe the guy is what? He should be like around his 90s, late 80s, early 90s or something like that. He's been locked up for a while. Okay, so that's who's gotten out. And the other person who's gotten out is rapper by the name of NBA Youngboy, or Kentrell Golden, has gotten released. And all the charges have been dropped, like he was wrongly convicted. I mean, shout out to the Trump administration for pulling this off, because I did not think he was going to get out of these charges at all. I think his drug of choice at the time was promethazine and codeine to make lean. That's what he's saying. I guess they didn't have enough evidence to make it stick, or they just said, hey, you know what? This will be influential for us to pardon him. So this is exactly what they did. Shout out to them. I think they know what they're doing. I don't necessarily think it is Trump directly himself doing this, but it is a member of his team. So we're going to talk about the cultural significance of this today, and then also one other iconic family that was famous from like what, 2016, 2017, all the way up until 2021, the Chrisleys. You know, they've been pardoned as well. I think, but between the husband and the wife, they were supposed to serve about 19, 20 years, something crazy like that, for IRS evasion and fraud to the government. I mean, it was a whole slew of charges that I didn't think they were going to actually do, because they were real estate. They weren't doing anything that was deemed to be reprehensible, you know, but I guess everybody clutches their pearls. They needed someone to go down for the fall. And then also keep in mind, for the Chrisleys, they had a bunch of people working for them. They were on TV. They had a bunch of things going on that they didn't necessarily have control over. And I do think that in this case, they were a scapegoat. Now, of course, people can criticize their lifestyle and how they raise their family and their kids or whatever the case may be. Okay, yeah, do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, if they weren't supposed to be in jail, they should not have been in jail. So that's what's happening in the news today. That's what's happening in the world today. Now, the Larry Hoover thing and the NBA Youngboy thing, I don't necessarily understand this, you know, and this is one thing that I'm not afraid to admit. I just don't know everything, bruh. But why? Like, what kind of message is it sending to these young guys out there that are steep in the streets? They keep wanting to do crime. They think that this is a flex to, you know, drink codeine and promethazine and sell drugs and be a merchandise giver. Like, honestly, like, if you want to sell merchandise the legal way. Like, literally, China is giving away its merchandise for like pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. You can make an online store completely legal, above board, and you can just become a wholesaler or a flipper of clothes. You can sell to third party, or you can sell to businesses, or you can sell directly to consumers. I mean, it's really not that hard. And like, golly, I can't believe I'm giving you guys free game on merchandise sellers, for lack of a better word, to transition into the legal game. So, I mean, but I guess, hey, this is what I do now. You know what I mean? But it's just too easy to make money out here for everybody. You know, you can make a YouTube channel if you're interesting. You can do all of these things that could bring you legitimacy if you wanted to, you know. I mean, of course, YouTube is a little bit of a learning curve, and you might not, you know, pop off immediately, but when you do pop off, the rewards are great. I mean, hell, look at Sammy the Bull Gravano. I mean, look at Michael Francis. I mean, two guys who, you know, one was an admitted, you know, killer, and another guy was a money launderer, you know, who has now transformed his life and now praises Jesus for saving them and everything like that. I'm not criticizing them, but this is just what it is. You know what I mean? But, you know, I guess everyone deserves a second chance, but when you constantly do the same thing over and over and over and over again, you get to kind of scratch your head like, all right, bro, do you not learn? Do you not understand that the consequences of your action? I mean, Jesus, young boy, you know what I mean? Come on, let's be realistic, you know what I mean? And guys, I'm just gonna make this video quick because I do have some things going on. I just picked up my dry cleaning, as you see back there. I got to look at a spot now. But yeah, just to kind of put a bow in this, I don't necessarily deem or demean anyone from getting out of jail. I just do what you got to do to be a contributing member of society. I mean, sometimes prison people who come out of prison contribute more to society than people who have never been to prison. You know, sometimes it's like that. And if it is like that, then it's one of those things where you can say, like, hey, prison worked for this person, you know, but prison doesn't work for everyone. And so just be mindful of what you guys are doing, especially out here in these streets, because, you know, not everything is going to go your way. And if you do crime, you're going to do the time. There's an old saying that you live by the sword and you die by the sword. And don't try to run when the sword comes for you, because you're only going to make matters worse for not only you, but the people that care about you and your family and your friends and everything like that, because then that sword is liable to go get them, and then you're going to wish that you had stayed put and fought and did what you need to do to take responsibility for your actions. So I just put it like this: if you're not involved in any of that situation, don't get involved. But if you are, look for ways to transition out, because in the long run, you're not going to last long. You know, you can be like Nipsey Hussle. Everyone praises Nipsey for being a great businessman and Young Dolph for being a great businessman, but yet they keep going back to the hood. They keep going back to the hood, and people is hating. Niggas is hating. And for what? Just because they got bread, just because they made it, just because they're in a better spot in life than you. Niggas is always going to be hating and be your own people. And this is why I be so critical of blacks, because for as many flaws as you guys have many talents as well, but you're just not utilizing it for the right reasons. It seems that every one person that's successful, there's 100 or a million people trying to tear that one person down. If it's in the neighborhood, if it's on TV, or whatever the case may be. They're selfish for being famous. They're selfish for being a millionaire. They're selfish for being a billionaire, blah, 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 blah. But you were not selfish for not doing anything to further your life and further your agenda. This is why the George Floyd situation, I mean, this past week in the memorial, you guys are celebrating this shit. And most people who know about what's going on, who understand he was a fentanyl addict, fentanyl Floyd, who held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, they're not celebrating any of this stuff. It's just black people who would just celebrate murderers and killers and rapists. And this is why you guys forever lose. But I guess you guys got a dub today or yesterday, because when Trump pardoned NBA Youngboy, my whole Twitter feed, my X feed, I should say, went crazy. You know what I mean? My group chat was going crazy, you know? So obviously, you know, he's not that bad of a president. For as much as you guys complain about him being a bad president and all this BS, you know, you guys agree with most of the stuff that he does, you know? So I don't know what it is. I don't know how to make black people happy, and this is not my job to make black people happy. So like I said, I'm gonna make this video quick, guys. I do have some errands to run. I love you. I appreciate you guys. Be tuned in for tomorrow's video. We're gonna be talking about a banger subject. Until then, peace.